Hey everybody, Chris with Night of Living Card Games here. Today we've got a special episode of Marvel Champions. Special in the fact that when I recorded this video, there was a microphone problem with OBS and it didn't pick up any of my audio. So I'm going to be trying to do a play-by-play commentary over this game. We'll see how this goes. This was my long-awaited Cable versus Hela matchup. Because Cable buffs himself and his events based on number of side schemes in the victory display, and Hela gets buffed by side schemes in the victory display. So I decided, hey, let's see who buffs out first. So I think by the in the player deck, I think I've got like 10 or 11 between the player deck and the encounter deck. I've got like I think 14 side schemes that can go in the victory display. The Cable is the Cable and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat with a couple other the player side schemes thrown in there for variety. Hela is rocking the normal Hela set, but instead of using Frost Giants and Legions of Hell, I did Galactic Artifacts and what was the other one? Oh, well, Future Past, because those have victory point side schemes in them. So yeah, so Hela can get ridiculously powerful. So let's look here. So to start with, I got Sunspot Ally, Reinforced Suit, one of my player side schemes. That's a side scheme that heals, so no reason to keep that. Don't have any allies out, so it's not going to do any good to heal anything. So looks like I am getting rid of everybody but Sunspot here and drawing up. I got a Deathlock, an Uncanny X-Force, a Teamwork, my gun, and finally, can't tell what that one is off the top of my head. I haven't played Cable enough to have his cards memorized like some of the other ones, so. I think, so this is the setup part of Cable. It is going to search for a player side scheme, and like most people, I just go grab the Technovirus Purge, try to buff him up to 3/3/3 as early as I can. So get all that deck shuffled up, pop that in there with 5 threat on it, and then we are going to get ourselves going here. So the interesting thing with Hela is just the fact that she gets +1 attack, +1 scheme, and +2 hit points for every side scheme in the victory display. So it looks like I pulled Deathlock out first. Nice big beefy guy, and you can go fetch a 1 or less cost upgrade out of your discard pile and attach it to him. And so I had Reinforced Suit in there, so he's now rocking 5 hit points. And then with using Deathlock and Cable and Teamwork, that means I get to thwart for 4. So taking down Technovirus Purge. So readying ourselves up and drawing up again. We're getting a Psychic Kicker, Call for Backup, another Teamwork, Phantom X, and Death Focus. As I was saying with Hela, once those side schemes start showing up in there, she gets really beefy and she can just hit you hard by the end. So getting up there, we got 2 threat on there because of the acceleration. She's swinging for 1 plus 1, and then the Garm hit me for another 2, so that was 4. So I got hit for a little bit more, and we're adding threat to the side schemes. So getting my turn here again, trying to get some setup going here. So let's first clear that Technovirus Purge out of there. So I get to buff all my stats by 1 and gain the Psionic trait. And then Cable's ability, once per phase, you can ready yourself after you clear out a side scheme. So got myself ready, but now we've got a side scheme in the victory display, so Hela is up to +1, so going for a 2 scheme, 2 attack, and has 2 extra hit points, bumping her from the 8 to 10. Using Phantom X to play Call for Backup, because I'll just use Call for Backup to grab Phantom X. And it starts with, comes in with 3 threat, so I can easily clear that out. So I think we're debating on how we want to handle this here. So Deathlock is pinging the tough off of Garm. And then Cable, we're going to use Psychic Kicker on Deathlock to ready him and give him +2 to his stats. So he's swinging for 4 or thwarting for 4 at the moment. So that just takes Garm out of the way, and that allows us to deal with the side scheme. We're putting our Death Focus into play. And then with Cable, we are just swinging for 3. The reason I didn't clear Call for Backup in this one is just because he can only use his ready get his free ready once per phase, and since I already used it this turn, no reason to do it again. So we got a sidearm, looks like a Grey Malkin, body slide, another Psychic Kicker. So going up to 5 out of 18 on the main. Hela's coming in for a base of 2. And looks like 3 more, so hit me down to 3. And then we get Nimrod is the bad guy that comes in. So Nimrod can only take 3 damage per phase, and he comes in with 9 hit points. So, so he takes a while to clear out, and as a 2/3 minion, that's a big ask. So first things first, might as well clear out Call for Aid. So that'll allow me to pull Phantom X out of my discard pile and also ready myself. And then once Phantom X comes out, we get to go fetch EVA or Eva and put that into play as well. So Phantom X is definitely an interesting ally. If by himself, totally overcosted at a 4-cost 1/1/3. But the fact that you get Eva out, and Eva can either heal a damage from Phantom X, ping a damage, or ping a threat, makes him a good ally, and especially with Call for Backup, where you can just pull him out for free for a little bit of threat removal. That seems really good. So we get a couple to get Grey Malkin out, so that generates an energy resource, and it also readies itself anytime you clear a side scheme. Unlike Cable, it is not limited once per phase. You can do it as many times as you want. So went and tagged Nimrod for the 3 that I could do this turn. And then I think I'll catch it later, but I did forget to, so far I've forgotten to bump up Hela for having the second side scheme in the victory display. Figuring out what I'm trying to do here. Though, unfortunately, it's been a few days since I played this game, so I don't remember everything that happened. I'm using Grey Malkin to put in the protection side scheme. That's the one that gives every identity tough once it's cleared out. So Eva is going to take a threat off the main. Phantom X is going to take a threat off the main. At least I'm pretty sure that's what I did here. Yep. And then Deathlock is going to take 2 off the main, get that down as low as I can go, and so I can flip down. There we go. Just remember that +2, the second one, give her a +2, so it's up to 9. So yeah, sitting at 3 hit points, definitely got to get to a point where I heal. Luckily, with an 18 threshold, being down 1 doesn't worry me as much. I mean, I'm still going to have to deal with stuff, but it's fine. So we got a couple player side schemes in here. Mind Scan, that's a really important one because that threat's going to go up high this turn. So we start by getting 2 on the main, going up to 3, scheming for a base of 3 plus something else. And then, so she was a base of 3. Nimrod did a 2, so we're up to 11. And now we got one of the Galactica artifact side schemes. So this one, excuse me, they all come in with 5. They're base 3 with a hinder 2 per player. This one's got an acceleration icon, and if I remember correctly, this one allows you to ready the player that defeated the side scheme. So let's see how I approach this one. It's kind of weird trying to do commentary on a game that I don't remember that clearly. So first things first, though, you got to recover, and with only three hit points, you got to recover. So up to 7. Now, I think what we're going to do here, using Gray Malkin and Def Focus for Mind Scan. So Mind Scan does 3 plus 1 for each side scheme in the victory display. So it's clearing 5 right now, which allows me to just take out that egg. So that allows me to ready, not through so I didn't use Cable's responsibility to ready from clearing a side scheme. I just did the win defeated effect on the side scheme, so I still can clear out a side scheme and ready myself. But it was a side scheme defeated, or cleared out, so Gray Malkin gets to ready, and then I can use it to put a sidearm on Phantom X, and then I can go clear out that established perimeter player side scheme to get myself a tough card. And then Hela bumped up an extra 4 hit points this turn, and she's now swinging for a base 5 or scheming for a base 5. So that tough is nice, and then I might as well pop Nimrod for the other 3 that I can do, so I can get rid of him finally next turn. Right, using Gray Malkin. What am I doing here? Looks like I am going to just put Inspired on Phantom X as well. So right now, Phantom X is a 2 thwart, 3 attack. Only 3 hit points, so he's down to 2 hit points left. And then I pitch 1 side scheme to get Lock and Load out there, so that'll allow me to go grab my rifle that I think I discarded in the opening flop. So Deathlock sitting at 5 hit points, so he's still capable of doing an action before he runs out. Eva, we're healing Phantom X, so we can use him. I'm betting that I'm going to use him and Deathlock to clear 4 off the main. Yep, taking that down to 7. All right, then we're readying ourselves up. Looks like I'm going to keep Reinforced Suit. Probably going to throw that on Phantom X to try to make sure that he stays around as long as possible, since he's got decent stats right now. Another Mind Scan, awesome. Deadpool, Build Support, and Professor. All right, so we start by getting 2 on the main, taking us to 9 out of 18. Hela's swinging for a base 5. Thankfully, I'm tough, so 5 and advance, so that's a nothing, but that just takes my tough off. And then Nimrod's coming in for 3. And do I just take it, or do I throw Deathlock in front of it? I don't remember what I did. Oh, looks like I just took the 3. And now we get Hela's Crown, so she gets an extra +1 scheme. So she is now scheming for a neat and tidy 6 plus a boost card. Oh, and then after she schemes, she gets a second face down boost card. So using Gray Malkin, we throw the Reinforced Suit onto Phantom X. So that gives him 5 hit points. Cable clears out lock and load, which will allow me to go fetch my big gun. But that does throw another side scheme into the victory display to buff up Hela. So Cable's gun is exhausted and spend an energy resource and deal damage equal to the number of side schemes in the victory display to a maximum of 4 damage. Shame that has a maximum, because in this game that would have been amazing to just blast through people. So right now he's already in maximum. So there's the 5th one. Hela goes up another 2. So again, scheming for a base of 7 and attacking for a base of 6. So we can easily just use Cable to pop out Nimrod, finally get rid of him. He's a victory point minion, so I don't have to deal with him again, thankfully. Taking a look here, I'm sure we're going to, not sure what order we're going to do. We're probably going to pop Hela with my gun. Looks like we're using Def Focus and something else to pay for a mind scan. So that does a base 3 plus 1 for each one in the victory display, and there isn't a cap on this. So this one is clearing, since there are 5 in there, this one's clearing 8 threat off the main. So that's really handy. Yeah, his thwart event, mind scan, and his attack event, I forget what the name of it is, doesn't cap. So in this game, they were doing crazy amounts of damage and thwart removal. Threw in a build support, and now we're going to use Grey Malkin to power up my plasma rifle to deal 4 damage to Hela. Using Eva to heal Phantomax, who then Phantomax goes and attacks Hela for 3. And we're just going to leave Deathlock alone, because Deathlock is going to throw his dead cyborg body in front of Hela. All right, we get a teamwork and energy, preparation, team building, and I didn't see what the other one was. So going up to 3 on the main, she's attacking for 6 plus a boost. That is clearly enough to take out Deathlock. Thankfully, I don't think Hela has any piercing in her kit, or overkill in her kit. Oh, and now we're getting, was it the Necro Sword, I think? So she's now a +1 attack as well. So she is now base stats 7 and 7 plus boost cards. All right, my turn. Spend 2 to get out Mission Leader. That was the last card. That's a great card to get out. So when you clear a side scheme, exhaust it, and draw, all players get to draw a card. That one's a good one. I actually think I could have gotten it cheaper. Did I just realize that? Nope, I didn't. I think Mission Leader, if I remember correctly, it actually is only a 1 cost if you're a soldier traded, which Cable is, so I cost myself a extra resource. So then I go clear out build support. Build support lets me go fetch, I think, a support card. I think build support is the one that does the support card. One does a support, one does, and superpower training, I think, does the upgrade. So I think, if I remember correctly, I go grab my my telekinetic shield. Nope. I went to go grab Uncanny X-Force, which I think is a support. So build support, yeah, is a is support of, I think, 3 or less. You can go fetch. So then Hela gets another side scheme in the victory display. And then Mission Leader triggers. And it looked like, I think we might have got our damage card. So especially with this one, the trick that I was trying to do with Hela was not flip down until I flip her. So I got a team building exercise out, which is handy for like def focus, and team building will pay for his events because they're psionic like him, and then def focus is and they're also superpower. So there we go. Gray Malkin, def focus, and team building paid for my telekinetic blast. So it is 3 damage plus 1 for each side scheme in the victory display, which cleared out Hela. So, and when she flips, she loses all her attachments, and she goes, and she no longer has the buffs from the side schemes in play. But the next time you defeat a side scheme, she flips over. So it does give me a little bit of wiggle room here to flip down and not have to worry about her scheming out. So Eva just heals 1 off of Phantom X, and then we use Phantom X to, I think, take 3 off the side scheme with Uncanny X-Force in play. He doesn't take consequential damage from that, but apparently I gave him consequential damage anyway. So Uncanny X-Force should be +1 thwart, but -1 consequential for side schemes. So I thought I realized that later, but anyway, I did was a precognition, so I get to look at the top X cards, where X is the number of cards in the victory display. You get to discard 1 and then put them back in any order. So I can pick and choose the ones I want. I think that one puts threat on the main equal to the number of schemes in the victory display, so definitely want to get rid of that. So now I'm trying to figure out, like, if I give her an advance as a boost card, then she's scheming for nothing next turn, and I get an advance out of the way. So I'm trying to set up my next few turns here. And I think I forget, if I remember correctly, I forget that I'm about to deck out. So I do play with the cards a little bit after the fact. I mean, technically, I guess it's cheating, but I consider it more of just I wasn't paying close enough attention, and if I had been, I would have solved it correctly the first time. So I think I'm willing to give her a boost of the number of cards in the victory display for a scheme, since she's just doing a base 0. I'm willing to give her that bump just to get it out of the way, and then I think I'm saying I'm going to get a side scheme in play, and then the next would be next boost card would be an advance. So again, I'm figuring all this math out in my head, trying to map everything out, and then I conveniently didn't bother to check my my own deck to realize that I think I've got like 3 or 4 cards in there, so I'm going to deck out. And I'm going to flip down and heal up, get back up to 8. And then ready everything up. And then I'm going to draw cards and go, oh, crap, I forgot. I decked out. Now I got to change the cards around. So, and now I just realized Uncanny X-Force gave Phantom X +1 thwart and -1 consequential for side schemes. So, all right, draw my cards, and went, oh, shoot, yeah, okay, so I'm going to be getting a encounter card face down, so that changes all my math. So while I'm figuring that out, so far the next evolution wave has been pretty fun. I'm looking forward to, I think as of the time I am recording this audio, in about a week we should be getting Deadpool and X-23, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. And unlike others, actually, I'm not overly stoked on Deadpool. I don't know. I think I'm inherently a cautious player, so I don't like I'm not a huge fan of the push your luck, negative effects giving you positive benefits. And I enjoy the Deadpool movies, but I'm fairly indifferent to him as a comic character, so he doesn't thrill me. X-23 definitely does. I really like the sidekick aspect of Honey Badger and all the shenanigans you can do there. And then when they showed us the Age of Apocalypse box set with the leadership cards, the sidekick in there, oh man, there is so many shenanigans you can do with Honey Badger, and and X-23. So, all right, getting back to this game, Hela scheme for a bunch. We got one of the Galactic Artifact side schemes as one, and then a second one as our 2 encounter cards. So it took me a little while, but I set that up. So we'll be dealing with those next turn. So we've got an amplify and a hazard icon, so flipping ourselves up. Let's see here. What would I do? I don't know what cards I've got in my hand, so I can't say for sure, but maybe Phantom X to knock down one of the side schemes and then Cable take one out so he can ready himself up again. So what is Eva doing? What is Eva doing? Apparently nothing. I changed my mind. So we've got a mind scan in hand. It looks like we've got our attack card as well. So as soon as we clear out one of those side scheme, Hell's going to flip back over. So we got to be ready to take that on. So it looks like Phantom X is going to probably take 3 off a side scheme. Yeah, the one with the crisis icon. I don't need extra encounter cards. That's a bad thing. Take it down to 2. And then Cable will clear that out. So I get to heal with that one. So that one got me back to full. So we get another one. So we're up to 7 side schemes in the victory display. We cleared a side scheme, so Hela flips. She starts with 8 and then gets 2 per every side scheme in the victory display. So that's an extra 14. So yeah, up to 22. And she's coming in with a base scheme of 8 and an attack of 8. I get to draw a card and ready myself from clearing a side scheme. Look at here, we got a team building and a def focus to do a mind scan. Probably just taking out that taking down the main. So yeah, base of 3 plus 1 for each in the victory side scheme. Just erase 10 threat off the main. All right, I think it's about time. Gray Malkin and something else to do a telekinetic blast. Must have been a double, I guess, to do 13 damage. Oh, yeah, the attack is 6 plus 1 for each side scheme in the victory display. That's right. And then I put my shield out. And then I attacked for another 3. Right, that shield, that force shield has been was really handy in this game to not have to deal with attacks. So Eva just took 1 off the side scheme, so Phantom X should be able to take it out next turn. I draw it back up. Forced Amnesia, another Mind Scan, Teamwork, Professor, and Body Slide. Body Slide's an interesting card, but it definitely in solo, it doesn't have quite the value on. I mean, it's still 0 cost and it's a free flip, but taking a look at here, she comes in with a base of 8. I knew it was a 0, so that just took out my shield. And then we're getting a side scheme, which is Bastion's Machinations. So looks like we've got to pop some cards underneath there. I think it's like 8 cards or something like that. Coming in with the 6th threat on that. How are we going to deal with that one? Over to Cable. I think, if I remember correctly, I think we got a mind scan in hand. So we could clear out Bastion's machinations, if that's true. Then Phantom X can take down that Philosopher's Stone. And then we could Eva, the last one off of the campaign or the scenario side scheme, and then start pushing to the next one. Nope, I was wrong. All right, so Phantom X and Cable are taking down the Philosopher's Stone. Oh yeah, Phantom X is only a base of 3. So, okay. So yep, we get another side scheme in the victory display. So Hela's getting +8 to each her stats and up 16 hit points in total. But it was a side scheme, so I cleared it. So Cable gets ready, and then the side scheme let us draw 2 cards, and then Mission Leader lets us draw another card. So we got a Psychic Kicker. Oh, that's very good for Phantom X. All right. I kind of want to just, kibitz with myself and just go, do this. You should do this next. And hopefully what I actually do next is what I would tell myself to do next anyway. Let's see here. If he is Psychic Kicker Phantom X, then he's thwarting for 4. Not sure if that's good enough for it, though. But he doesn't take consequential from it, so you could clear out Bastion. But I think we're going to mind scan it away instead. So, yep, mind scan, just get rid of that. There was another victory point side scheme, so we're up to 9. And let's see if I remember that readies Grey Malkin. So I think we decide it's time to finally push forward into the next level of hell. So then we're going to get the next scenario side scheme added out there, and then I believe we get Scourge in this time, who comes in, I think, with 5 health and a toughness. But every bit of progress I make, Hela just keeps getting stronger, so I think I realized I need to... Oh, I did realize that I got to flip Grey Malkin with that side scheme. I think I'm going to realize that I really need to get Sunspot out because I need a blocker for Hela. Yep, there's Sunspot. So basically, for each energy resource you paid to bring him in, deal 1 damage to the villain and each minion in play. So that was, I paid with 1, so that took the tough off of Scourge. And then I used Teamwork on... Oh no, I did Psychic Kicker on Phantom X, I'm sorry. Ready him up, and then he and Sunspot do... No, what am I doing? Psychic Kicker, so +2, so I'm attacking for total of 5. So I think I realized I didn't need Sunspot to do this, so Phantom X just takes out Scourge. And for some reason, I put him in the discard rather than the victory display. But he doesn't come up again, so it doesn't really matter. And then Sunspot hits Hela for 2. Let's see if I remember to actually pop her with my gun this turn. Eye Puncher for 3. And then, yep, use Grey Malkin as the energy resource to pay for my gun, taking her down to 1. And let's see here. Looks like I don't have enough to pay. Oh, so I'm taking that back because instead I am going to do Temporal Leap. Use Grey Malkin and the Professor to pay for Temporal Leap. So that kind of gives me a little bit of a bonus. That is, if the main scheme would pop, you pull a side scheme out of the victory display and add 4 threat to it. Or move 4 threat from the main to it. Given the fact that she's scheming for a base, what is that, 11 now? If there's an advance or a scheme activation that comes up, that's probably why I did that, just to protect myself in that situation. All right, I see another teamwork in there, Deathlock. So going up 1, she's coming to attack for a base of 11 plus 1 from the Amplify icon. So effectively 12 plus a boost card. So Sunspot is about to get curb stomped. And now we get 2 encounter cards. Oh, we get Bastion. So we get a villainous, tough 10 hit point minion. And then we get a... was it Obedience Potion on us, which is -1 to each of our stats, so it nullifies the +1s. And I think you need to do double mental resources to get rid of it as a hero. So Eva's going to ping a damage on a Bastion to clear out the tough, just so that I can use my... Def Focus, team building exercise, and another resource to play for my Telekinetic Blast, which is currently dealing 16 damage, just to get rid of Bastion, who is also a victory point minion, so I don't have to worry about him anymore either. What am I going to be doing with Cable and Phantom X? So, oh, you have to take a damage and then spend 2 mental resources to get rid of the potion, which I did, to get my stats back up to my nice 3s. And then using Phantom X and Teamwork, we're hitting for 6, so that should take Hela down nicely. So now we don't have to worry about taking as much damage from her. And that'll give us a nice little reprieve. It does unfortunately mean that our gun is kind of pointless right now. Maybe I should have done the gun and Phantom X instead and then worked on that side scheme, but So to run back up, another Psychic Kicker, Mind Scan, Professor, Superpower Training, and an Energy. Oh, I flipped down as well. And then we get the Justice one, I forget what it's called, that does 5 per player damage to the enemy, which for Hela effectively becomes 3 damage because she gets 2 extra hit points per side scheme. So we're up to 7 scheme, and she's got her cloak, so she is stalwart now, so she can't be stunned or confused. Doesn't really impact this Cable deck because he doesn't have status effects in here. All right. Let's see, which of the side schemes am I going to get out? Looks like I get superpower training out. Go get an identity-specific upgrade afterwards, and I think for Cable, the upgrade that matters to me is that that force field, that telekinetic force field. So, Eva, what am I doing with Eva? It looks like I was going to take one off of the. Yeah, it looks like I'm taking one off of the scenario side scheme. Start moving that and getting close to moving that ball forward, since Cable can just thwart for 3 in a bunch. So get that into his room. Looks like I'm having Phantom X just go and take out superpower training. So I go get my force field out. That was side scheme defeated, so Hela flips back over. And it's only when she only loses her attachments when she flips from her healed side to her wounded side. So she gets a third, so we are up to 11 side schemes in the victory display, so she is up to a 30 hit point villain, and swinging for 12 and 12. So yeah, that's horrifying. Let's see. I think I've decided that we're just mostly to the point of trying to push forward on the main on the campaign side schemes to try to get Odin, so that we can just take out Hela then. So we put the lay the trap down for next turn, but for this one, Cable is going to take out this side scheme, so Hela gets buffed again, so we're up to 12 in the victory display. We get the last of the scenario side schemes in play, and we get the Nidhogg giant worm thingy in, who is a 1/4/6 with toughness. I cleared a side scheme, so mission leader pops, draws me a card. Cable should ready, and Grey Malkin should ready as well. Man, I take my time doing some of this stuff, don't I? Yeesh. Sometimes I'm not sure how slow I play, just because I do try to check these things for any problems with the video or anything, but I usually watch it on double speed. So any of the pauses or delays don't seem quite so bad at double speed as they do at 1x. So sorry for that. I'll try to get better at that. All right, so I'm clearly pontificating about what to do about Nidhogg and how I want to handle him. So Cable can swing for, we got to clear the tough off. Cable can swing for 3, and my gun can shoot for 4, which those two things would be enough to take him off the board, but there would still need to be the tough taken out. So it looks like I just did a basic attack to take tough. Oh, I did a psychic kicker to ready Phantom X. So he's coming in and swinging for 4, and then finish the job with my rifle. All right. And Hela's going to be coming in. Oh, I still have a card, so looks like Def Focus, and I'm doing another mind scan to take a lot off them. So I clear out Hall of Nestron, and I think that goes and gets me Odin. Buffs Hela, of course. So that's our 13th side scheme in the victory display. And that goes and fetches his own. I didn't do the campaign side scheme where you can get his armor as well. I don't know. Maybe I should have. I just didn't really think about it. So then we do something. I think energy and maybe a gray Malkin to do telekinetic blast. So that is hitting for 6 plus another 13, so 19 total. That seems good. And then Odin's going to punch for another 3, I bet. Yep. Taking down to 12. So basically, if I can get another of my telekinetic blasts, that's enough to take her out next turn. So what is that? Body Slide, Ascani Sun, Deadpool, Teamwork, and Teamwork. So not my big ones, but we're getting there. Honestly, Cable's got 3 attack, and Plasma Rifle is another 4, so that's 7 plus Phantom X is another 3. I mean, I've got enough damage on the table right now, I think, to finish her off. She does a whole bunch of damage there, but it just gets sucked up by the shield. Unfortunately, we got an assault, so she's coming and attacking again, and I've got no way to do it. And I can't, even with a 3 defense, she's swinging for a base 14. So even with 3 defense, she kills me without a boost card. So, and if Odin goes away, I lose the game. So realistically, Phantom X has to be sacrificed here. So 14 and a bunch more. So Phantom X goes away. And once Phantom X goes away, Eva goes away as well. All right, over to me. I think first things first, you got to clear out Lay the Trap. It doesn't do as much damage as it normally would. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Is it's supposed to do 5 per player damage to the villain, but since she gains 2 hit points when a side scheme goes in the victory display, it's only a net of 3. So it looks like I'm using Gray Malkin and my team building exercise plus another to play Deadpool. Get him out here first. Might as well use Gray Malkin before you clear a side scheme since it'll ready it up. And then we clear out Lay the Trap, which gives her 14th side scheme. So she gets plus 2 hit points, but then she loses 5. And then I ready, Gray Malkin readies, and Mission Leader gives me a card. So I don't think I realized it quite yet, but I've got all the damage I need on the table right now to take her out. Base attack of 3. But I'm using Teamwork with Odin to do 6. And then my Plasma Rifle can do 4 damage to just finish her off. I think for the hell of it, I put a reinforced suit on Deadpool. And then I just shoot her with a cannon and take her out. And Deadpool could have done another 2. And I think I got a Psychic Kicker in hand or something. I don't know. But that was it. So it got kind of crazy. Again, she's right now a base 15, thwarting and scheming, plus boost cards. And I think there were like 2, I think I go through this in a second or 2, but I think there were 2 or 3 side schemes that came up as boost cards that never came out. So I think I'm looking through my deck to see if there were any that I threw away. But yeah, so there's 1. So So again, so 14 side schemes in the victory display. And we missed one, so that could have been 15. And then I think there's at least one more in here. Yeah, 16, 17. So could have had a maximum of 17 side schemes in the victory display. And then she would have been hitting for 18 and 18. Oh, man, I won this, but even still, that's just crazy to think about. Basically, she would have, if she ever got an advance, even if you were at 0, she would have won the game in one advance, even with a 0 boost card icon, if all of them were in there. Ooh. But thankfully, she didn't get there. So it was a fun game. It was it was definitely crazy. You need to have if you're going to do this, you need to have blockers or easy ways to get that force field out so you're not taking the damage or get tough cards on yourself. And then again, like I said, you flip down once she's flipped so you can get benefit from not threat out while you go and heal or take care of other things. I think I'm talking about here is the telekinetic blast and the mind scan, how they scale up also with side schemes, but unlike the rifle, they don't have a cap. So while she was still net positive on hit points with all those side schemes in the victory display, I mean, I was doing 6+. If I would have done a attack with telekinetic blast right now, I would be 6 plus 14, so I'd be doing 20 damage on her in one shot. So yeah, so that was it. Hopefully I apologize for the audio being wonky and me having to do this this color commentary on it. I do appreciate if you're watching, you got this far and you put up with this crazy video. If you liked it, hit the like button. You want to see more, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to be on a little bit of an Earthborn Rangers kick for a little while, but I'll try to squeeze in some Marvel Champions as well. If there's anything specific you want to see, go ahead and click or leave me a comment below and let me know what you want to see. Pretty soon I'll be trying out Deadpool and X-23, and then waiting for Age of Apocalypse to come out. But otherwise, as always, I appreciate you watching. You want to see more of this, hit the subscribe button. Like I said, I'm going to be jumping into Earthborn Rangers for a while and going through that campaign. But I thank you for watching with me, and everybody have a great day.